Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. On our last episode we took and unlocked the jetpack, and we also at the very end unlocked oil. So what we're going to do in this episode, hopefully, is we are going to get oil set up. We're going to start producing some plastic and some rubber. We're going to belt that back to home base. And then I'm really hoping we can unlock petroleum power, i.e. fuel generators, and then we can set that up, and then we can majorly expand our power grid in terms of our capacity and finally get off these biomass burners we've been having at base since literally the beginning. Because the capacity it's all over the place, but at 1.2 megawatts just isn't enough. Eventually, what I'd like to do also is get rid of the coal power, at least shut most of it down, but we need more fuel generators for that. Alright, so as you know how it goes, everyone, we are going to, well, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to go and put in some items in our to-do list for what we need. We need multiple refineries. We are going to need some oil extractors, at least a couple of those, and the other thing we're going to need is a bunch of piping, which takes the copper sheets, and I believe, yeah, I have a bunch of that in my inventory already. Alright, so we're a little short on motors, so we're going to go over here, we'll go grab some motors, and then we'll be back when there's something a little more interesting going on. Alright, it is time to go find some oil, so we're going to go use our dinger, bring up our map. We know we have oil over here because we've already explored there, but I want to see if there's any oil closer to where we are. I don't think there is, but I could be wrong. Or maybe there's none at all, which I know that's not the case. There we go. Okay, so we have oil over here and we have oil over there. The question is, what's closer? Honestly, they're about the same. They're about 2 clicks out. Okay. Well, since the oil over here is a little closer, we're going to go put a new marker here for oil. We will select the little dropper here, select my color, which is blue, of course, infinite, and we'll highlight it. Now, what we're going to do is, since one of the things we're going to need is power, I'm going to show you those power towers, and we're actually literally going to ride them completely over there. Normally I would set up all the infrastructure first and then do it on the way back, but, and as you can see, the jetpack makes getting over things much easier. But in this case, we already know there's no infrastructure whatsoever out there. So what we need to do first is actually what we're going to do here. We're going to go down into this valley here. Actually, I need to see how much concrete I have in my inventory. Ooh, I don't have a lot. Okay, because we're going to need a lot of concrete, so I'm going to steal a bunch of this. I do have some in my dimensional depot, I believe. Yes, I do. Okay. And right now I'm uploading copper sheets, and I still have those steel beams uploading as well, so if I need more, I have them. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to go into number 2 here, and we are going to go into power. Now, there's 2 types of power towers, one without a platform and one with. I personally only ever use the one with because, as you can see in the bottom, it says, note, this power tower variant includes a ladder and a platform for improved utility. That's going to be very important here in a moment. So what we're going to do is we'll put the ladder to us, and then what we're going to do here is we'll build that. Now what we need to do is we need to... Oh, actually, you know what I need to do here? Hang on. We're going to go put this into hotbar number 7, and then I'm going to put a power pole into 5 and a power line into 6. Okay. And then what we need to do is we need to connect, oops, that's number 6, to the power tower. Now, what makes this really cool is this. So what you're going to do is, I want to build another one, but I don't want to build it at the length of these power poles. So what you do is you select your cabling, go up to the top, which you can only have 3 connections per power tower. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go as far as you can. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take the zip line. And you can see there's our marker. But what makes this the utility is because now you have a place you can rest. And I'm going to go see if I've actually grabbed this hard drive, which I believe I have. Yes, I have. A good way you could generally, if you clean up all of the material around said drop pod, like the free resources, that's a good way. And then now we're going to do the exact same thing again, except we have to be careful because right there is just a bottomless pit. So when we go back to 6, and as you can see, it will automatically connect. Whoops. Come on. Uh-oh. That's gonna hurt. Oh, I got lucky there. That didn't go quite according to plan, but that's okay. Look, I'm not the greatest gamer in the world, but I try. And like I said, we're gonna keep on doing this until we get over to the oil, and we'll come back when we get there. Now this is the area we explored before, but we couldn't get through because we didn't have any explosives. As you can see, there's the area down there to be able to walk through. Now we have 2 choices. We can just basically go up and over it, but more than likely eventually we will destroy those rocks there, since now we do have explosives and we have the nobelisks automated. What I'm going to do right now, though, is I'm going to get rid of this tree that's in the way. Unfortunately, it's kind of obstructing my line of sight, which you kind of need. The other reason why I would like to get packaged fuel online is because it will improve the jetpack's utility a lot. Oh, looky, a little power slug for me. How quaint. We will take you. As we continue our expansion. Ooh, hello, there's another one. Yellow one. Oh yes, we are going to take you too. Now with the jetpack, that makes it much easier. We will just go and collect you. Thank you very much. We will just ignore the big ugly creature. And we will continue our electrical wayward expansion. Because we must have power. And we will continue. Because we need to get all the way over there. But as I've said before, and the nice thing is, when we have this finished, you can literally ride this thing from tower to tower to tower pretty much uninterrupted, assuming you're not going clipping through rocks or whatever. Now that's new. They didn't have a geyser here. That's what that is in the center of the screen, is a geyser. That will be useful a little later when you unlock geothermal power, which I believe is in the MAM. then that will give you an additional power source, but it fluctuates is the only downside to geothermal. But that's why you have like the battery banks and stuff to help kind of limit that out. I think we're going to go to here. I'm going to try to keep these above water. You can build these in the water. There's another power slug, which we're going to go grab here. I'm going to have to go grab my little Xenobasher here. Just because these flies can still do some good damage, even though they're not aggressive. Also, if you leave some of them alive like I did, they will eventually explode without the mother hatcher. Come back here, you! I am not finished with you yet. Thank you for dying for me. How quaint. Okay. Okay, it looks like this little adventure, besides us getting oil, is also going to be very beneficial for the fact of the multiple slugs I've already acquired. And there's a summer sloop over here. We're going to grab that too. This will be, it's technically an adventure run, but it's also a necessity. Ooh, hello Ada, what do you have to say?
Organs and veins are grown, and bones are dug into our walls. The temple gift is being desecrated. Our notes are sour still. Harmony follows many star journeys.
Patterns are starting to emerge in vocabulary, sentence structure, topics. How fascinating to once again solve a true mystery, to be unable to create any accurate predictions.
I take it Ada is intrigued by our little mysterious critters. Ooh, okay. We have a pure iron node here. That may become useful at some point in the future. I don't know why they had a huge spitter, though, guarding it, but okay. Ah, that's why. There's a Mercer sphere up there on that pedestal, which we're going to go over and go grab. And what we'll do is we need to... No, we're not going to have enough fuel to get up all the way up there, so... Oh, and there's a drop pod here, too. Excelente! We need to get rid of some riffraff first. As I've said before. Oh, like here's some plastic. I just found here sitting on the ground. We've got some spiders to get rid of. And yes, for those who are afraid of spiders, there is an arachnophobia mode, which I guess puts a picture of cats over the spiders or something. I don't know. Never used it, so I really don't know, to be honest with you. See, now with our... I'm actually going to let this guy do its thing for a little bit. And then you'll see the gas mask there just auto-populate and we're not taking damage. So long as you have filters... you won't be harmed by the poisonous gas. And then once you move out of the area, it will stop using it. Oh, we have some heavy modular frames. Those will be useful. Some stators, which I have some made, but not a lot. And then we'll see. Also, with some of these drop pods, not all of them, but some of them, some of the things you find outside is what you need to actually activate it to get out the hard drive. What does this need? Okay, so this needs rubber, which I do not have yet. Okay. So, well, we're going to be over here to produce rubber, and we will, I'll bring you guys back when I have this unlocked, which will happen once I get everything set up. Alright, I said in a previous clip, I'm on top of that structure. I said this was a Mercer sphere. I was incorrect. It's actually a purple power slug. I would have liked a Mercer sphere, but power slugs are also very useful, since you only have a limited amount of those in the game. And yes, I used my little trick as usual. Okay. Now that little side adventure's over, yes, I'm still distracted as usual, but that's okay. We are getting closer to our oil goal, which is over there. It looks like there's also, let's see, another power slug. I believe a blue one. Sorry, guys, I'm not used to zooming in like this. Yep, that's a blue one. Okay. Okay, we have quite the welcoming committee here. Now, I'm still down in the same area. It's just this is at another crashed freighter, which is unusual to have two very close, like in this case. Quick wire, case beams. I don't know what this drop pod needs. I haven't actually looked into it. It needs one heavy modular frame, which I have. Oh, decisions, decisions, decisions. We need to get rid of something because I'm out of space. So we are going to get rid of these leaves and the wood. I can do without them. I definitely want the hard drive. And then we still have that second hard drive, which requires rubber, which, as I said before, I don't have yet. However, we are getting closer to our goal. Let me use my binger here and see exactly how far the oil is. Okay, we have one at 64 meters. Wow, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 different nodes here in this area. In fact, there's one right down there. Another welcoming committee. Eventually what I am going to do is I am going to convert that into protein, then I'm going to convert it into alien capsules, and I'm going to feed it into a awesome sink, which will start to become useful here soon. One of the byproducts when you make, oil, it can be a byproduct that you have to deal with. So we have a normal node for crude and a pure node for crude. Alright, I think we're going to take this pure node. We are going to go place down an oil extractor. Whoops, that's fine. I have enough stuff. Okay. And we should get 240 per minute. That is correct. Okay. Now, what we need to do is we need to make refineries, because crude oil on its own is pretty much useless, like a lot of the other materials. Now, the refinery has, you have to be careful, has an input, two inputs, or has an input and output. A belt and a liquid input. What we're going to do here, actually, you know what we're going to do first? We're going to slap down some foundations first. That is going to become very useful very quickly. And then, yes, I will get rid of the organic stuff later. And then now we're going to start slapping down some refineries. And then I'll show you what recipes we can make out of the refinery, at least currently. So we're pretty limited on what we have at the moment. We have plastic, which takes oil and then it produces plastic, but it also produces heavy oil residue, which is a byproduct that we need to get rid of. Residual plastic, which is polymer resin, water to make plastic, which, okay, yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Then you can make rubber, which is also, it makes rubber, but also more of that heavy oil residue that we need to deal with. Then you have residual rubber, which is more of the polymer resin, more water to make rubber. Then you have petroleum coke, which takes the heavy oil residue and makes it into petroleum coke, which is, you can feed that into your coal generators. It's actually something we unlocked. No, we didn't unlock it in the MAM. I'm thinking of something else. Anyway. Then we have fuel, which takes a bunch of crude oil, makes fuel, but also makes that polymer resin that we were doing with the residual plastic and residual rubber. As you can see, a lot of these things have byproducts. Now, like the polymer resin, you can belt that into an awesome sink if you don't have a use for it right away. And then you have residual fuel, which takes heavy oil residue and turns it into fuel. Right now, without the packager, which we don't have yet, the fuel is pretty much useless at this point, unfortunately, because we can't package it to use it in our jetpack, and we can't pipe it into a fuel generator because, well, we don't have that unlocked yet. So, what we are going to do is we are going to make plastic in this one. Then we are going to take, and we are also going to make, actually, we're going to plop down a few of these refineries here. Alright, because we're going to make plastic and rubber, because we're going to need both of them anyway. So we're going to have 2 of these making plastic. Okay, that's going to take 30. That's going to take 30. Then, no, we don't want residual rubber, we want regular rubber. There is also some alternate recipes, which we will eventually be able to unlock. There's actually one that I saw, which is actually kind of cool. It takes heavy oil residue and water and makes it into fuel. And the ratios are really good. Also, if you did not know, in the game, as you unlock certain recipes, or I should say certain tiers, what alternate recipes are available in the MAM will change based on that. Okay, so we are using 30 crude, 30 crude, 30 crude, and 30 crude. So we're only using half of the crude oil available from just that node. But then we need to deal with the heavy oil residue that's going to be a byproduct, which is going to be 20, 20, 10, and 10. So that's 20 and 40, so that's 60. Well, fortunately for us, I believe, well, we have, the problem is we have that. Come on. I believe the fuel recipe, exactly. Oh, fiddlesticks. That would be perfect if we had the packager, but we don't. So what we're going to do for now is I'm going to go get rid of some excessive organic material, and then I'll bring everybody back. All right. So we have everything done. We just need to hook this up to here. And now our oil extractor is extracting. So what we have over here is we have one bin that's going to contain rubber, one bin that's going to contain plastic. That fluid buffer for now is going to store all of the heavy oil residue. Unfortunately, it's not going to be, once this fills up, which is not a lot, it's going to then, the production line's going to stop. But I'm hoping we can get enough to get the packager online. As you can see, we need 200 oil, and we just lost our power grid again. Son of a gun. Ay, ay, ay. Let me see here. Yeah, we're right at the edge, unfortunately. That's the problem, is our power is not stable. It's when we have the dips here that we blow the grid. Alright, so what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to shut down the rubber producing refineries for now. Since we have no battery storage. And this, I know, is an ongoing problem. Alright, hang on. We need 200 plastic. What do we have here? because I did find some plastic. We don't have enough, though. I need 142. Okay, let's try shutting down one of the refineries. Or one more of the refineries. After we get fluid packaging done, then we're going to do fuel generators, and we're going to convert most of the oil here to fuel generators so I don't have power issues again, because this is ridiculous. Yeah, see, it's here. It's when it drops down to like 1,900 megawatts because I lost some coal fuel generators. This is the reason why I prefer to have the fuel generators, because it only has one input, which is fuel. That's it. That's all you need. Assuming you can figure out the fuel situation, water is not a concern. Although, as you can see with the area we're in now, we have water aplenty. And eventually, when we get that over there, which is the geyser, that will help too, but that also means the power fluctuates. Yeah, so, alright, we'll be back. Alright, we have enough in our inventory of plastic to be able to do that fluid packaging unlock. I just have to get steel beams. But now we're going to take this power line all the way back to base. Well, at least as far as we have it, I should say. I was able to turn on that second refinery, at least temporarily. Ooh, Mercer Sphere. That time that is a Mercer Sphere. I'm going to go down there and grab it here when I get closer. I may not have enough room in my inventory, but I'll make the room for that. Not enough room, no problem. We'll get rid of leaves. Now we have enough room. That is worth it. And then you can fly near your power lines and then whip out your zip line and grab onto it. And yes, I'm going to keep this going as one uncontinuous clip here. When they announced these power towers, and then they announced shortly thereafter, or before that they announced the zip line, then they announced these power towers, it was pretty awesome. The only downside is you can also change direction if you have multiple towers, but I've noticed if it's like a super sharp turn like that, it does not work. And we will eventually blast all those rocks down there out, because when I go to belt the plastic and rubber back to base, we're going to have to deal with that. But I have Nobilisks, I have it automated, so I'm not too worried about that. What we're going to do here is fly right through a tree. Yeah, why not? And then we are going to, as I said, go back to base, or at least as far as I have these power towers, which is, I believe, starts down in that pit area, if I remember right. Yeah. That will get us most of the way there, but it's a lot faster than running back to base. A whole lot faster. The other thing is it gives you a good opportunity to kind of look around, like there up there, there's a blue power slug. So what we're going to do, whoa, we're going to go here, recharge that, and I don't think, no, I don't have enough lift with this particular, it's a fuel source specifically. The other thing that's really cool is getting the turbo fuel. The turbo fuel burns up quicker in terms of how much, but you get a much higher vertical boost than you do with the standard fuel, which right now we're worried about getting the standard fuel. Oh, that's right, I forgot. The steel beam production, I need to overclock that. However, what we're going to do is we're going to take what we have. Oh, I don't have enough copper sheets. That's okay. And then what we're going to do is for the steel beam, we're just going to take it from the dimensional depot because I have and then that's going to be replenished automatically. As you can see, it's already starting to go back up. And then we need to go for copper sheets. We need all of these. I don't have any more going in, but I can redo them later. But now we can get fluid packaging going.
Milestone reached. Avoid the embarrassment of placing liquids in your pockets only for them to spread across your suit. Package and unpackage them with the packager. Packaging fluids allows them to be transported in your inventory, on conveyor belts, and by vehicles. For increased, non-pocket related fluid storage, you can now use the industrial fluid buffer.
And that is something we will get into. The next thing we're going to unlock is going to be this. The logistics is important, but it can wait. We need motors, rubber, plastic, and encased industrial beams. Okay. Unfortunately, right now I'm not making rubber. I am making plastic. I was able to turn the plastic, both refineries, back on. Alright, I will go and grab some of these parts that we need, and we'll be back. Alright, it is time to upgrade. To get petroleum power. Lay it on me, Ada.
Milestone reached. It is my honor and privilege to inform you that the fuel-powered generator, as well as the industrial fluid buffer, are now available. Due to a lack of gold in your sector, Caterium will serve as a suitable replacement to construct the fuel-powered generator. Your research into this element was valuable. In fact, you in particular are my most valuable pioneer, but don't tell the others I said that. It would be bad for morale.
Oh, I didn't know you cared, Ada. Alright. Our next goal is going to be this industrial manufacturing, but that is going to wait a little bit. Our next main goal right this moment is going to be power. As you can see on my to-do list, I literally have 10 fuel power generators. Now the fuel generators each produce 250 megawatts of power. I plan on building 10 of them, so right there, that's 2,500 megawatts. Right now, we're a little short on rubber, but I do have my rubber plant, well, my rubber production going. The other thing I'd like to set up as well is to package the fuel. Oh, the other thing we're going to need is a couple of these industrial... I want to put a couple of these buffers in. Do I have enough material for that? Yes, I do. It's just rubber we're short on. All right.
The effigy only sings when you compose.
I was not built to use organic components for communication. I am adjusting.
The effigies make a flow. You are not the current.
I am not sure what you mean. I do run on a current. I am a digital construct.
That was the interaction between Ada and the unknown voices after I grabbed a summer sloop that I had missed after I destroyed those rocks I had mentioned in a previous clip. The rocks are gone. I just used about 4 Noblists to get rid of them. I also redid my power line structure so that way I can just continuously go over there completely. And I've been collecting Mercer spheres and summer sloops as I see them. Being there is only a finite amount of those in the game. Because after we get our power situation squared away, then we unlock the industrial manufacturing, which, honestly, I could probably unlock that right now. Actually, no, I don't have enough motors right now, but by the time I get done building this fuel generator facility, we will. And yes, I did say turbo by mistake, but I'm eventually going to upgrade it to turbo fuel. I've already unlocked the compacted coal necessary for that. So, but right now we need rubber. Alright, I still technically don't have enough rubber, but it'll be enough to get us going anyway. Now this particular, I'm going to build vertically because there's not enough. The fuel generators take up a stupid amount of space. So what we're going to do is build some walls here. 4 meter high. I didn't zoop it. Alright, whoops. Let us go into building walls. Toggle build mode zoop. And son of a biscuit. Alright, we're gonna just have to use my little stackable conveyor trick because if I had regular fuel in my jetpack, I could get up here, but I don't. Alright. I just wanted to show you the size of these fuel generators are absolutely massive. Now, in Update 8, these only used to produce 150 megawatts each. In 1.0, they now, as you can see, produce 250 megawatts of power each. Okay, so they burn, for regular fuel, they burn 20 meters cubed of fuel. I need 10 of them, so I need to produce 200 milliliters of fuel is what I need to produce in order to satisfy 10 of these. So, okay, I need to do some figuring, and then I will be back. I've got plenty of oil nodes in the area here. Okay, so here's where we're at. I just plunked down a refinery. We need to produce 200, meters cubed of fuel per minute. Each refinery can produce 40 on its own. So, we do a little quick math, 200 divided by 40, which means I need 5 refineries, which means I need 300 raw crude per minute. Now, that oil extractor that's in frame, that's not being used at the moment. That can produce 120 on the node that it's on, but that's still not going to be enough. Because we're going to still be... $180 short. Now there's another normal node, which I believe is another 120, if I remember right. Yep, that's 120. So that would put us at, we would need 60 more. Actually, I'm going to have to change where that location is, because that's not going to work piping-wise. There we go. Okay. I do have some power shards. Can I overclock that to 180? 180, 120 is 300. That's enough crude oil. Okay. I can do that, because the problem is as soon as I turn this on, I'm going to blow the power grid again. I already know it. And I don't have enough motors, it looks like, but... okay, so I have enough rubber right now. I'll take some extras as well. What we're going to do for now is we are going to shut down these refineries for the power usage. Off. Okay. So the only thing that's on is the oil extractor behind it, but I don't think that's going to be on very long. Once it fills up, it will just... Never mind. It already did shut down. Okay. Alright guys, I will be back when I have this whole thing piped and built and be ready to turn it on and watch the power grid go kablooey. Alright everyone, so some time has passed since the last clip. Unfortunately right now, my entire world is unpowered. I made the mistake of doing some off-screen testing, and when I was hooking up some items I hooked up, those refineries are making fuel, which then gets stored in that buffer and then get pumped over there to the fuel generators. The problem is right now is I'm using so much power when these refineries come on that it blows the grid. The refineries down there I've shut off. These refineries over here are dealing with the residual. From making fuel, you have to deal with this polymer resin. So what I'm doing with it right now is these two are making plastic, that one's making rubber, and that uses up all of this polymer resin. But for now, what I need to do is I need to shut these off. I do not want them turning on when I try to repower my world. Okay, so all those are off. What I was actually trying to do was I was trying to get this water extractor to turn on and then to just fill up. Actually, what we can do is this. Let us disconnect the line here. We'll disconnect this line here, and what we're going to do is we're going to connect this biomass burner to there. And then for the moment, we're going to hook up. Okay, we're going to make use of this power pole. Put that to there. Kill this again. What I'm doing, so you kind of understand, is I'm trying to get this to fill up with water, fill this up, fill up all the piping, so then in this case that shuts down. So when I try to restart my world, actually I could do that now because it's been disconnected from the grid. Let's see if I can restart my world. Ooh, we're right on that edge. Okay, I've got 2 refineries running. What I'm hoping... Uh-oh, that's not going to work. These fuel generators are not going to turn on at all because I don't have power to this pipe pump. And I don't have... Why do I not have that hooked up into the grid? What am I doing here? Hang on a minute. Okay. Alright, I need to hook up this pump to... And we're going to try this with 1 refinery. Turn that off. Okay. Because the thing is, I need the fuel to fill up this line to get up to that pump. Right now I have 1 refinery running, which is only producing 40 fuel a minute, but okay. What we are going to do here is we are going to build a bunch of biomass burners. We're going to build a couple of these and we're going to hook them into the grid just for now. Okay. Come on, fuel. Now this one refinery is not going to be enough to power all of these, but what I am hoping to do is if I can get one of these online, I can get more of the refineries online. Once I get more of the refineries online, more of these will come online because there'll be enough fuel. That's the game plan anyway. I'll bring you guys back when there's something a little more exciting than waiting for fuel to populate. Okay. We are getting fuel at least to these first two. I've been able to turn on 3. There we go. But it's not stable. Come on. As you can see, I've got 3 refineries online. And the problem is this is what's going to happen is that they're going to randomly turn on and off until the pipe gets saturated with fuel. This is why normally when you do this, you need to have all your refineries online. I'm going to try to get another refinery online. Because the more these pipes get saturated with fuel, the more these fuel generators are going to run. Okay. I'm going to try to get all of the refineries online here. This one I know it doesn't have any power at the moment. We're going to fix that here in a second. We will go connect it to the grid. Okay, all of the refineries are online now, so now these should stay running, I hope. Yes. Yes. As you can see, with the capacity now increasing, our batteries that we installed a few episodes ago are actually now starting to charge. Slowly, but they're charging. As more and more capacity becomes online, this will take less time. We're still not stable, but we're getting there. Okay, so these first couple at least are gonna stay running regardless. Okay, hallelujah. Okay, so I can get rid of all these biomass burners I temporarily put in. And I know that's going to cause that to stop producing, which is okay. We're going to fix that. We're going to take you. We're going to hook you into there. Those are going to come back, or those aren't on at the moment because they're full. So we're going to go turn this on. We will turn you on. We'll turn you on. Okay, so now all that polymer resin that we were producing is actually being utilized. Then we can turn on these refineries to get more plastic and rubber producing. And then I still need to deal with the heavy oil residue that we're producing from these refineries, and we're going to deal with that by turning it into fuel and package it for our personal use in our jetpack. So first thing we need to do is we need to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of this. We're going to put in an industrial buffer because it's going to take us a little bit of time to get things going here. Okay, so now the industrial buffer is going to fill up with the heavy oil residue. And thankfully, we're already going to make enough that all we need to do is plunk down a packager right here. There's the inputs, outputs. We are going to make packaged fuel. We need fuel and then the empty containers, which we're going to make in a minute here. We'll put the heavy oil residue in. we need to get rid of these walls here, because frankly they're in the way. And then we're going to produce, we need some more foundations. Now, to make empty containers, all you need is a single constructor and some plastic. That's all you need. It's pretty straightforward. A constructor, bada boom. Then we're going to go down to an empty container. You need 30 plastic a minute to make 60 empty containers a minute. And we are going to use this top one. And the reason why we're using the top output, not the bottom one, is because the bottom one we're eventually going to belt that all the way back to base. Okay, and then all we need to do is belt this into there. No, that was a remnant from when I was redoing things. It is slowly starting to fill. Alright, so then all we need to do here is connect power up to these two items, and then we will have packaged fuel. Where? Power to the packager. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's not going to work. Hello. Duh. Boy. For those eagle-eyed among you, that isn't going to work because this is heavy oil residue. We can package that, but that's not going to do us any good. We need another refinery. Duh. We're going to get rid of this power pole. We're going to make... because we need to take... That's what we need. We need to take heavy oil residue, turn it into fuel. Okay. And we are going to need to put a pipeline pump on that. I already know that. And we are going to need power pole. We will hook it up to here because it's out of things. Okay. And we are going to get the fuel started here by just connecting the refinery to power. We're still unstable, but we're only consuming about 1.3 megawatts and we're producing 3.2 megawatts. That will stabilize out as that fuel line gets full of fuel. Then that will stabilize out. And in the interim, we're also going to get the get these empty packages, or yeah, empty containers starting to get packaged here. This is going to be a little messy, but I guess we're not going to be able to do what I want to do. I didn't account for enough vertical space, unfortunately, here, which is my own fault. We'll get rid of a couple of those. So what we'll do is we'll put the packager over here. And then we want to get those, of course, are the empty containers being produced by the constructor. And in this case, we aren't so worried about having this particular refinery shut down. We're also going to put another pipeline pump in. Unfortunately, when you're going up vertical, you only get X amount of head lift per utility, so... Okay, why are we not producing... We have no heavy oil residue. Did I not pump it in? No, I did pump it in. It just hasn't gotten into... It hasn't saturated high enough yet with the... with this. Okay. That eventually will get started. And then what we're going to just do is, as always, we've seen many times on the channel, and this isn't going to be any different, we're going to throw it into a container for now. Once I start producing fuel, that is. There it goes, finally. And once that line fills up enough, then that pump will kick in and pump it into the packager. Oh, you know what? I don't think I have this packager set up because it's red and I know I have power. Yeah, I didn't do that. Okay, there we go. Now it'll start receiving the empty containers. At least until its internal volume is full. And then once the fuel line gets saturated from the refinery down there, come on. I may have to move this pump down a bit. Might be up too high. What I'm looking at is how much fuel is getting into the pipe. There it goes. The more the pipe gets saturated, the higher the flow rate goes up, and then the head lift will go up as well once this pipe gets fully saturated with fuel. And then that will pump it above and beyond. Alright, well that's working on getting us packaged fuel that we can use in our jetpack. I want to see how these are doing, the fuel generators. See if these have stabilized out. Okay, there are 10 of them here, as I mentioned before. We're not doing spectacular. I'm going to move out of this area. I know it's kind of loud, guys. Okay. You still saw the fluctuations in there. That is from my coal power plant because I still have some water optimizations I guess I need to take care of, which I will eventually. But now we should be processing all of this polymer resin. And yes, this is my creative belt work, but it works. Now this polymer resin is useful because we can shove that in the MAM and we can make synthetic fabric. I know I had mentioned that earlier. I'm just going to take a whole bunch of it. I'm going to build a MAM out here and I'm going to see if I can research that synthetic fabric. I believe it was under sulfur? No. Quartz? No. Mycelia. We need 25 regular fabric. I don't know if I have enough material to actually make all that. Let's see. Go fabric. What do I need? I need biomass. I don't have biomass. Okay. we'll save that for another time. Okay, so we have 30 a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 150 of, whoops, that's 60. That's 120, and then this should be 30 per minute. Oh no, it's only 20 per minute. Ooh, we need to up that. There we go. I miscalculated apparently. That's okay. But as you can see, yeah, that line is from the coal power plant, but we're producing almost 4 megawatts, and we're only using about 1.5, so we're producing double, and as you can see, our batteries are charging. That is also consuming power, the batteries. Once they fill up, though, that will go away. Alright, we are going to go check on... We should have some... There it goes. Our packager is packaging the fuel. Okay. And now... Alright, we have 82 fuel. Now, in order for... If you notice, I'm still using the solid biofuel. You have to go in... You have to hit tab to bring this up, and then on the pack... You can do liquid biofuel, which we don't have. We're going to prefer the packaged fuel. So now... You can see the burn rate is a lot slower, and it allows you to get up a lot higher. Eventually, this will completely fill up with product. And then, like I said, I am going to go work on getting the rubber, the fuel, and the plastic belted back to base. I'm going to go do that, and then for now, I think I'm going to end the video here, guys. If you like the content, give me a like. If you want to see more of it, subscribe. I am releasing videos every Mondays and Fridays, so that way you'll get plenty of content that you can watch or just listen to in the background or whatever you want to do with it. Thank you again for watching, and have a good day.